Welcome back on Dynamo. Today I want to propose you the unboxing and review about the issue 11 of the Warhammer Conquest, Warhammer 40k, released by the combination of the Hachette and Games Workshop. So here we can see that there is the music that are the aggressors that I really like to have. So I waited quite a lot to gain this one because it's quite a lot cheaper as is to build to have. And we can see again, as the last issue, that there is quite cheap box inside here, because there is only this that keep everything together. There is not anymore something that keep this booklet in position and solid. As you can see, even the bases are completely free to move inside, and this sprue risk to damage the part about the front page of this booklet. So eventually, if you are interested in having these pages completely fine, pay attention eventually to the issue that you take. But anyway, it's really great release, and now we'll open. Here we can find the miniatures that are inside. There are 3 of these aggressors, and from here you can find some interesting information. For example, you can easily see that you can monetize quite easily this part about the miniatures, or eventually you can try to cut this part and make it a substitute, but it's quite easy to avoid and make it personalized. Or eventually it's quite easy also to monetize simply the arms and so on. Eventually remember that you can also keep these in the way that you have some MX Gravis armor, because this it's the armor, so eventually you can modify the back or so on, but it's really quite amazing as base also for conversions. Eventually remember about this. So we can put this aside and see the rest. Here we can find the bases 40mm ones for the models. They are usual ones with 2 holes that you can fill with some things or so on, like we see, and they are really quite simple ones. So now that we can move them aside and see the contents inside the issue. Before I forget, you can see that the cover itself is about the releasing, so really quite a nice image eventually. And we can find here the contents of this booklet. Here we can find some background about the aggressors themselves, with also the description about the armor with the different weapons, so quite interesting. Here we can find some background about 40k, and I think that it's really quite interesting that in each booklet, in each issue, there will be some background about, because it's really quite important to gain. Also here we have some information about the salamanders, so also here we can find other background and introduction about also the main chapter, so really quite interesting for the ones that start. Here we can find the easy to build and a bit of description how to build, and here the instructions about the different models that we can find inside, and we can study these to understand how to monetize. For example, we can find that, as I said, parts about these can be monetized. The head, it's a bit more difficult, but can be done. Also the part about here, also the legs can be modified in some way if you change a bit, because they are separate, and we can find the different details and the different things that can be useful for you modifying the miniatures. Here we can find that there is the part about was talking about the holes, so we have the part that the miniatures insert, and there are other accessories that you can even avoid to use, but you can put on other miniatures eventually, so they can be really quite interesting anyway. Here we can find also the other model, so we can understand and study this to better understand how to convert these models. Here we can find how to paint the aggressors themselves, and we can use the previous release about the paintings, and we can find that with simple steps we can reach this effect that it's not quite bad. So it's really quite interesting. Obviously it's not finished, it can be improved quite a lot, but the final effect it's yet really quite interesting. Here we have the new rules about this booklet, so they add booklets, so they add this part, and we can find, for example, the new rules about the models. In this case, there are the automatical hits, so they make you understand how they works and so on, and how you can use them. Remember that this is a step by step, so each time you see something new to your heading, and here they give you the explanation how to make the reaction to shoot, so when you are charged and you fire back, so really quite interesting. Here we can find the part about a battle plan, so another mission with updated versions. Here we can find other options that has been added for new rules. Here the usual, as always, nice cover, back cover that you can find that you can use as a poster. And here we can find the next releases. For sure I'll take this one because I like a lot the model, so I'll take. I'm not sure about this one because it's not something that I'm quite interested in, but they are really quite convenient, so it's there are some of interest in these. I suggest you to take them because they're really quite interesting. Personally, I'll buy this anyway. So what to say about this releasing? I think that it's really quite interesting, and I suggest you to buy it because the Aggressors are a really interesting unit that with the codex of Space Marine 2019 has been updated and increased quite a lot in its really great efforts on the field. So eventually keep it, and remember that in the description you can find my video about the review of the codex of Space Marine 2019 eventually, so I talk also about the aggressors inside it. Sincerely, I suggest you to buy this releasing, and I want to remember you that if there are a lot of these issues that you are interested about, eventually think about having a subscription to this opera, because it's really quite interesting and there are a lot of things. And eventually remember that you can anyway go and buy this separately, it's up to you. The only thing that I want to remember that in the description there is also the playlist about all the issues that I bought and I make a review about, so eventually you can see there if there is something that you're interested in and what are the contents inside, so that you can understand better how it's done, this opera. So from Dino Mode it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again. Till next time.